Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, get all the good things for you. I am Saleh Taylor. I am joined by a very good friend of mine, Kevin Hoover. We are going over, and this is correct. Yes, Saleh is running lead right now. Fred, as we are recording this tonight, Fred is out being a very, very, very good man. He's being very, very charitable. He's leading a gala at this moment. So Saleh is running lead. I'm being joined by a good friend, Kevin Hoover. How are you, Kevin? How you doing?
I feel great, man. I'm excited. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm ready for this. Let's do this.
Kevin is also known as the man behind the curtain for Duke City Championship Wrestling, DCCW, the Vice Man, the Vice Lunatic, the one who's also known as the last the last line of defense. It's actually really, really cool thing. Kevin, thank you for joining me here on Going Over. As we are recording this, we're recording this right now, Friday evening. We're just going a little bit late. Spend some time building up and getting ready for tomorrow's show. Love Hurts, Duke City Championship Wrestling will be live as you're listening to this terrestrially. You're going to be listening to this on Saturday the 22nd. Feel free to come out to the El Rey. We are almost actually we're pretty much sold out of seats for the beautiful historic gallery theater for Love Hurts this tonight, the 22nd. Any thoughts on that, my friend?
Being almost sold out. I mean, that's a pretty usual thing for us. We're very fortunate that we have such a powerful fan base that loves to come out and enjoy the energy that we try and capture the best as we can. And then people show up day of standing room only. They still love it. Uh, they don't care about seats most of the time. They're on their feet anyway, and
Yeah,
it's it's an amazing feeling. And we do it so often just because there's so much energy to just keep that momentum going.
we're really grateful for all of our fans, all of our people that are just supporting the show. It's going to be an insane card. We're going to actually go through the card later today, but this is going over. This is a wrestling show. We're going to talk a little bit about wrestling. I know that usually talk about the big shows like the WWE, and you know what? We're going to keep talking about the big show WWE because they're the ones just rocking the waves out there right now. I want to get your input. I want to get your. I want to see where your mind's at right now. How, as we're in this new time, this new era, I guess you can say,
Right?
because we have the Netflix deal going on with Raw and certain premium live events. But I know that they're running out. They're finishing the contract with their dates with Peacock. But WWE with NXT partnering with TNA, and we're beginning to see the fruits of that partnership, like with Oba. I'm sorry, with let's start a little back up with Moose, Big Moose making
Moose.
his debut in NXT. That actually the way they did that, the way they shot that, the way they delivered in that was insanely beautiful. And then the very next day, Obafemi making his presence known in TNA. That is a beautiful thing. Usually, when TNA or NXT has been sending some of the talents to NXT or TNA, they've been sending some of their non-champions there. But we have Obafemi with an NXT title belt walking down the ramp at TNA. What are your thoughts, my friend?
My jaw dropped actually when I saw that footage. I have watched Moose's career for years, through TNA, and he's currently the TNA X Division champion. Uh, that's a prestigious title. I'm gonna tell you, there have been many names who have held that title, including AJ Styles himself. And to see a man carrying that title into an NXT ring, that is just, dare I say, era changing. You have to understand that before all this, these companies, they didn't really work together. Those walls are getting broken down, and everything's able to cross over. You get to see these individuals in the same ring that you never thought you would. And Moose is a guy that will definitely bring attention to that.
I'm reminded years ago that it's funny. There were times when Moose was okay with not working at WWE, but when we were seeing that WWE and TNA was getting some business together, Moose was getting more active, talking about, you know what, I don't mind seeing myself in a WWE ring. I don't mind seeing myself under WWE lights. And when it first came out, when I was first watching that, we have all the athletes, all the wrestlers utilizing whatever means to get noticed, or continuing to get a reaction or interaction with the fans. A lot of people are talking about how like Moose has been wanting to be in the WWE ring, but it hasn't always been that way. He was actually okay with making the move to TNA because he wanted to create his own path and continue building on his name and continue getting his reps in. But now I'd say the timing of where Moose is in his career and how he's carrying that X Division championship, as well as Oba Femi, just two giant Nigerians. The timing of this couldn't have been more perfect, and I'm really excited to see. Hopefully it's one of those things that doesn't get drowned out in hype. But man, I can't wait. What was it when Big E was talking about two big men slap meat?
Oh man, that's always a favorite. It's always a crowd favorite, especially when it got chops in the middle of the ring.
It's a beautiful thing. I'm excited to see what more comes of this. You know, it's kind of cool to see where like even other former WWE wrestlers who are working out in TNA, just getting the work in, has another backdoor in to work again in the WWE, under the WWE lights, in the WWE ring. You know, will Nick Nemeth come back as Dolph Ziggler when he show up?
Uh,
We just keep to this thing in TNA. He has that option. The Hardy Boys are going to. What's going on with Hardy Boys again?
so it was there was a challenge thrown out to get the Hardy Boys on NXT next week, and they actually accepted later that night to defend their TNA World Tag Team Championships on NXT, and I think that's pretty awesome because there has never been another title defended on WWE television in any form or fashion.
I think Jordan Grace defended her title. No, no, no. They came to TNA. You're right.
It's-
She Jordan Grace defended her title on TNA against was it Roxanne Perez?
I believe it was Roxanne Perez.
But like
And
she came to TNA, but the first time having a TNA title match under the WWE lights or the NXT lights, NXT ring. This is a really cool thing. Also like the Hardys, man.
I mean, the name speaks for itself. These guys have been in the industry for years and years, not just in tag team action, but also in singles action. I mean,
Yeah,
Jeff Hardy, former WWE champion. Uh, I mean, these guys have had gold everywhere they've gone, and now they get to come back to WWE through NXT, but they don't work for them.
yeah.
That's a first.
Now it's crazy. At one of the craziest things about life is when you're growing up and you're getting older. The body can't do what it was doing. Um, the Hardys have been kind of showing or sending out little breadcrumbs that like they know that they're aware that they're nearing the end of their career, and it's been said that they would like to retire in WWE. I would love them to have like a proper victory, farewell tour,
The
but
victory lap, yeah.
victory lap, farewell tour. But it's not just the Hardys. You have other people talking about, especially now that professional wrestling in general is just hot. Going back into pop culture, you have wrestlers on ESPN. You have wrestlers showing up on news stations again and not forced to do a morning segment. They're hitting prime time again. You had Bailey, part of the All Star game, the Celebrity All Star game. and then
Oh,
still
that was
went
awesome.
back and did a show. Like it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful time to be a wrestling fan, and we're grateful for every single one of our fanatics who's been sticking it through. Lord knows we will forever remember the dark ages of the late 20 teens of wrestling. But I'd be remiss as we're talking about companies partnering up and providing a good product, and I don't mention AEW.
Hmm.
AEW were the ones that started this ripple effect of this with this great competition. Talking about, you know, in 2018 when they announced, and then 2019 having the first All In.
Yeah. It was September 1st, 2018, in Chicago, Illinois. Was the All In show.
Yeah,
Just for quick note, I actually attended that show, and that was supposed to be a show that one started off as a bet, but it was
great
also
bet.
one that wasn't. Yeah, it was a bet against Dave Meltzer at the time, and it was also a show that wasn't ran by a particular wrestling promotion. It was just a group of people, wrestlers, who funded an event as best as they could, didn't belong to any company, even though, even though Ring of Honor also, was part of that a little bit. Jay Lethal at the time got to
Yeah,
defend his ROH championship. And it was supposed to be a once in a lifetime thing. It still is a once in a lifetime event. Never happened before, never going to happen again. But that's what led to getting the attention of Tony Khan, creation of AEW, which became official first thing in January in 2019, uh, and that just went off to have AEW do their shows for a little while until they got a TV deal.
now, to my recollection,
Uh-huh.
was that first All In? Didn't they feature some New Japan wrestlers, or was that when New Japan did a little tour in January
They
2019?
featured wrestlers from everywhere.
Yeah,
I can remember Kazuchika Okada
yeah.
when he was up against Marty Scurll at the time.
Wow.
Kenny Omega went 1-on-1 with Penta, then known as Pentagon Junior. Uh, you had, oh man, no New Japan titles were up for grabs, of course. You also had Nick Aldis, who at the time was the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion,
Dang.
defend his title against Cody Rhodes, who was not known as Cody Rhodes back then because he couldn't use the last name at the time. And then Cody walked away with the title. There was so much mixture of that, and New Japan was part of that.
Yeah.
New
So
Japan was one that was able to work with everybody.
as we're talking about how companies, well, AEW wasn't a real thing, because the first All In was supposed to be just an All In bet. It was just supposed to be a one off. But there was a beautiful thing growing from there, because shortly after, that's when Chris Jericho got involved, and then that's when
That's
like
right.
more things happened, and then they had this beautiful product that's providing an amazing alternative to the main product, which was honestly dragging its feet, and it was we still known as the dark ages of of pro wrestling. But there's this beautiful thing when it comes with competition that, you have to bring a game, and you have to follow through, and you have to get it going, and from there the ripple effect of where we're at now. WWE has gotten a good grip. There's been a lot of changes from the higher ups, and you have this insane deal that they have with Netflix now,
Insane
and
deal. Yes.
it's the like that's an understatement when you have a product that now kind of has a little bit of protection under the new media deal with Netflix. They don't have to reveal all the numbers. They don't, and even the numbers that they do reveal, I don't know if we can trust it. But they seem to be okay with the partnership with Netflix. And you know what? We just take it because they're still being invested in. They're still having a chance to become better. There's still room for growth, and they're taking advantage of that. So as we're talking about that, how do you feel about this latest road to WrestleMania? Does it feel like a road to WrestleMania to you?
It doesn't quite it doesn't quite feel like it used to. The Netflix era coming up, everything going a little bit more worldwide than it used to. It's a little bit different. And you know what? Part of me says that's probably fine. There's a lot going on, and I'm okay with a lot going on. Could be a lot less.
It,
And basically, Road to WrestleMania is supposed to be this big high that you ride this roller coaster all the way through the first few months of the year, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and into WrestleMania. I feel it, but there's a lot going on.
there is, and we're going to get to the intricacies of how this new era, this new Netflix era, this new worldwide media era. We're going to take a quick break. We are going over. I am Saleh Taylor. Hello, once again. I got Kevin Hoover. You're listening to us live on 95.9 FM, 610 a.m. The Sports Animal. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Going Over. If you're listening to this live as we are streaming this, we are recording this on Friday evening, the night before Love Hurts. But if you're listening to this on our terrestrial radio show, we thank you for tuning in on a Saturday morning. If you're not doing much, go out, find someone you love or find someone to love and tell them loves and give him a big old, full eye contact hug and tell him Fred sent you. But this is Saleh Taylor. I am Saleh Taylor. Fred is currently out at this moment. He is filling in and he is actually hosting a gala event because he's a man of the people doing a charity event. The man is in high demand. I am Saleh Taylor. I'm joined in by my good friend Kevin Hoover, the man behind the curtain, the vice, the one, the only, the one, and also the final countdown. So I don't know
Oh,
if I get to say that. I said
let's hit the final count. Yeah,
yeah. That's Kevin for you. He is the the final defense for Duke City Championship Wrestling. Welcome, Kevin. We were talking earlier about how this road to WrestleMania feels, if it feels like it. There are some things that's lacking, but also there's some things that we're enjoying. I love that right now. It seems that they're building up for the new the new guys. Even though Jay Uso has been part of the business for years, but they're giving him a chance to be on top, be one of the main event guys. You got Gunther that's solidifying. He's always had room to be on top. Cody also. You got the elimination chambers getting ready to happen in a couple weeks actually. Uh, Insane. But this year, this WrestleMania to me feels like they are working towards the future on like who can be the next main event people within the next few years. And what do you think about that, Kevin?
well, one thing you're missing is there's also, in my opinion, this whole passing of the torch kind of system as well.
Yeah,
New era of Netflix. There's John Cena's farewell tour, which we could talk about at extreme length
all day, all
uh,
day.
all day, and you have partnerships with TNA. You have all this stuff coming in. And you have to remember that NXT also has uh, their own separate showpiece because they don't do they don't get on the card for WrestleMania. They have their
Yeah,
own show to do. So you have so many elements besides the road to WrestleMania. So there's so much to it that you kind of lose track
yeah.
because there's so much to keep up with.
Speaking of so much, talking about WWE, SmackDown, Raw, NXT having their own thing, TNA, who's like not whose own brand stands alone. But then, as I've been talking about, they've been looking ahead towards the next generation. They have their new reality show, which is like a revamped version of Tough Enough, that LFG, Legends of Future Greats. That's a beautiful thing to see. I love it. I'm grateful to watch to see that they are again working towards the next ones because people don't remember Miz is from Tough Enough. Miz is from reality TV. Johnny Morrison, he is from Tough Enough. There's several other Tough Enough. Maven is actually making a great resurgence back in the
Right.
in social media. There are key figures who came from the Jamie Noble. Actually, Jamie Noble has always had his he worked he paid his dues from the old ways, but there's several others that's actually who's come from these programs that are still a recognizable name or who's still part of the deal. Um, I'm glad to see that WWE is doing again. You know, uh, a way to work in the next generation, but also just like you said, it's a lot to keep up with. There's so much.
My
There's so
bingo
much.
card is full at this point
Yes.
of what I can see this year.
Now, speaking of what we can see this here, if you're listening to this live on the radio on a beautiful, crisp February 22nd, Saturday morning, yeah,
So
good
sweetly
morning.
put. Look at you.
You know what feels good? Well, what could make this day even gooder?
Ooh, what's that, Saleh?
Come on down to the beautiful historic El Rey Theater, DCCW Duke City Championship Wrestling. Love hurts.
Because it really does.
Actually, and it's going to really hurts. So how hurts will love hurts? Hurts is the answer to that.
I always tell myself I always tell myself we ask the referees first. You probably know more about that than I do. But we've got a good card coming up.
We have an insane card. The doors will be opening at 6, and the first bell hits at 7. We're so excited for this. We're gonna go through a bit of the card and tell me what you think about it. We got Chuy Martinez with Johnny Maga. It's official. The name is changed.
He changes his name more than
I
some
just,
people change their underwear.
I just saw the change, and it just hit me. Chuy Martinez with Johnny Maga versus Enrique Calderon with Amelia Plum. We're starting. We're starting the show with this. We're starting this.
Uh, I
Like, oh
it's tough
man,
to, it's tough to bring these kind of things into words because this is one of those. Chewy is one of those individuals that you just have to see in order to understand what's happening. Um, Johnny joining by his side, do I understand what he's doing? No. Do I have to? No. But it's whatever's going to happen. I want to see what happens.
it's
Enrique
gonna happen. Oh man,
Enrique Calderon, a fantastic athlete in his own right, has been here before. I love seeing that guy work. I think that's going to be a great match. And
this is going to be beautiful. It's gonna hurts. That's how we're starting off the night. By the way, moving on, another match to look out for. RJ Wild coming back to DCCW against Valley Vile. Valley Vile is having a string of hard, tough luck, but still coming out on top. I believe I think Valley won his last match, and RJ Wild from his last match with Thunder, coming back with vengeance. So RJ Wild continuing like wanting to make and leave an impression here in the DCCW crowd. What do you think about this?
I kind of disagree with you. I think he's already made a little bit of his mark here. Just
Ooh,
the one on one with Thunder, he held his own. You have to understand they had a 5 minute time limit match in the last show. They ran over and they didn't make the time limit, so they restarted the match because they wanted just some more. He stood his ground. Valak has been here since day one, and he has not lost his hunger. He's changed up his tricks, and he's got a little trick with birds that everybody likes. But RJ's I don't want to say he's an up and comer. I don't want to say he's got potential. I want to say that he's hungry and he's looking for some action.
RJ Wild versus Valley Vile in the Duke City Championship Wrestling, February 22nd, 2025. Love out. It's going to be an amazing night. RJ Wild, Valley Vile. Who do you have? Who's your pick, my friend?
You know what? Valak is one of the OGs, if you want to say, but I don't know. I see the hunger in RJ. Like I said, if I had to pick one, it's gonna be tough, but I gotta say RJ. I think he wants it. and I think Valak is going to use the wrong trick.
That's going to be a great insane match. And then I'm a little partial to this myself, but the Renegade Ricky
Yeah,
Rebel
of
been
course you are.
yapping his bloody mouth all day, man, all week. Ever since our match has been announced, he's been running his mouth. I am honored and to have joined me. We have the federal director of sports and entertainment in the Southwest region and all the other regions. I believe he's been promoted. Matthew Robles, the MK Knight himself, followed by the Slap Queen, Chelsea Dotson. This is a great. This is going to be a great shot, a great time. I'm grateful for the opportunity to shut that kid up, man.
Saleh, you've laid out a bunch of definitions and titles, some of which that I don't understand sometimes. But all I can say is, what can I say about this match? Ricky is Ricky's a guy that starts heavy. Okay, he dives right in, and he will do what it takes, whatever it takes, to win. However, you are too sometimes, and with a little bit of, shall we say, backup, maybe just motivation, and Matthew Robles and Chelsea Dodson, which is a nice surprise. This one's going to be tough. This one can be anybody's game, honestly.
It's my
I think.
game. What are you talking about? Anybody's game?
All right, all right. Let
What are
me
you talking about?
rephrase.
It's
Let
my
me
game.
rephrase.
How
I think
dare
we've
you,
got a hard
sir?
fight ahead of you.
Is this our first
And
lover's quarrel?
oh, that's cute.
Oh, that. But I'll give it to Ricky though. He is very uh overzealous, but like he's wanting to leave a mark. He's
He's got
calling
an
out.
ego.
He's calling out everyone.
He's
He's
got a
calling
big
out
old
everyone.
ego.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. But you know what? He asked for it. I was granted the time and opportunity to give it to him. It will be my honor to shut him up. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. Coming on next, this is gonna be. I can't wait. You know, if to see how I'm feeling. But this triple threat match is gonna be insane. For our friends from the NWA. By the way, if you didn't know, we've been talking about this all week. There is an insanely beautiful, big, huge announcement that will be announced. That was very redundant, but there's a
A little bit.
huge announcement for this show at Love Hurts at the beautiful historic El Rey Theater. You don't want to miss out. And speaking of missing out, coming back from the NWA, the Bounty Hunter. He's
Ooh,
continuing to throw away the rules because
name sends chills.
he believes rules don't apply to him. Coming across the homegrown, the beloved Thunder, and then going against our current in his first title defense for the Route 66 championship, the one whose looks could kill, Brian Idol. This is going to be a banger.
Absolute agreement. I will. I can't say much about how Brian obtained said championship, and I won't
Hey man, he won.
because
I saw and counted three. I just had front row seats, man. It was great. I was
I
so
don't know.
proud.
At this point, it doesn't matter how he got the title. The fact that this is his first title defense and it's going in a and it's going in a three-way match against two individuals that are not a joke. Bounty Hunter is an amazing athlete. He is tough as absolute nails, and he doesn't care about your well-being. Thunder, the mighty Thunder, is the first ever DCCW heavyweight champion, and any of these men can walk away with that championship, no problem. This is going to be mix of skills, but also mix of luck because just takes one fall, and Brian does not have to be a part of the decision.
You're talking on something that not a lot of people know about. On a triple threat match, unless it's a elimination style matchup, first fall, the very first one to get the 1, 2, 3 or submission, you win the match. you win the entire match. The whole kit and caboodle, you taking home that Route 66 championship. This is going to be an insane match. You have three people that are really good at what they do, and what they do is really good. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to watch. It's a beautiful thing to experience. I got my money on Brian Idol. Brian Idol has all the experience. He also, I just my heart goes to him for some reason. I don't know how. I don't know why. But at the same time, I'm not sleeping on Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter. Oh, you're live from the chat. The Bounty Hunter talking about he's already in town training to collect the title. He's not coming empty-handed.
I
You know what?
I told you he's ready.
I might have to revisit my vote because this something in his those empty eyes when I look at him through the mask. Very empty eyes. But let's not count out the Mighty Thunder. There's a beautiful thing when he connects with the crowd and everyone's right behind him and they're just talking about how much they adore. And when he gets the power of the people behind him, oh my God. Oh my God. It's a beautiful thing. But you still have the one in whose looks could kill. You have the current Route 66 championship. And also, he's holding titles from other places, other promotions, other cities, other countries. Brian, I don't even want to be slept on. He's working with a broken freaking collarbone. And he is still collecting titles.
All right, down boy.
Yeah,
So
saying.
I'm going with Thunder, and I'll tell you why. Because after he lost his championship to Hobo Hank, he came back without missing a step, and he's been on a really different role. He's back to being himself, and you know what? At this point, maybe he doesn't need a championship to keep his greatness going. But that's my vote for the night.
We both have said. My pick once again is one of the three, but I'm leaning towards the guy whose name rhymes with Shrine Schmeidel. So I'm really excited about
Wow.
that. We're going to go on break. We're going to come back. We're going to keep talking about the rest of the card of Duke City Championship Wrestling's Love Hurts. That will be live from the beautiful historic El Rey Theater on tonight, if you're listening to this. February 22nd, Love Hurts. How hurts will love hurts? You better come out. Check this out live. Once again, my name is Solly Taylor. You have Kevin Hoover. We are, and you are listening to Going Over on 95.9 FM, 610 a.m. The Sports Animal. And we're back. We are back. Once again, my name is Solid Taylor. This is Kevin Hoover filling in for Fred Slow because Fred is a man of the people. He's out hosting at this moment a gala. I don't know what it's for, but I better get my piece from it. But once again, you are listening to Going Over. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful day. And you know how to make this day beautifuler? Come out to the beautiful historic El Rey Theater, Duke City Championship Wrestling. It is the day of Love Hurts, February 22nd, 2025. It's a beautiful day. We've been talking about the card, and I'm going to move on to the next one, the next match. Pretty City Express. Look at these beautiful, beautiful men versus Turbo Test. Well, what can I say about them?
Yeah, okay. Downplay it more, why don't you?
The Pretty City Express will be coming for those Chile championships of Turbo Test, the inaugural, the first ever tag team champions of Duke City Championship Wrestling. Turbo Test with Turbo Tony and Tommy Two Scoops. Test. You got Devin Reno in class from Pretty City Express, who's been getting their time in on the road again. These four are no strangers to each other, not just here, not just this region, but also this country and this world. They fight so much, and they fight others, and then they fight each other. It's crazy. I'm pretty sure it's one of those things where we call on the street on site. They just see each other and they just throw down. This is going to be a very physical fight. The Chile Championships is one of my favorite things that we have because we had a red belt, green belt, and I can't wait so I can win both and walk around both. It will be an honor for everyone to see me with these titles. But what do you think about these? What do you think about this, Kevin?
This is something that we have seen before, we will see again, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we see this again and again and again. These these 4 individuals were involved in the very first tag team championship match for the Chili Championships, and this is a flat out rematch. Pretty City Express wants the titles. I called this out what, weeks ago, I think, maybe 2 months ago, that these guys were going to come back. They're going to try again, get those championships. So, Pretty City Express is not a team to be taken lightly. These guys, I can't talk enough about these guys. They look great, they move quick, they're strong, they're smart. May not always like how they get results, but the results speak for themselves. However, Turbo Test managed to come out on top in their first championship meeting. So there's a lot of momentum behind them. They have more than proven what they can do in a ring. And both these teams, honestly, right now have something to prove. That makes this a match to see.
This is going to be an insane banger of a match. This rematch, once again, as I just stated earlier, Pretty City Express are coming they're coming with fire. They're coming and hell's following. But then again,
Ooh,
you got Turbo Test, who has great momentum with them. They know how to work together. They know how to work the crowd. They know how to work their moveset. They know how to just work. All 4 of these guys actually just know how to work. But there's something about Turbo Test that just gets insane. We have has we have we looked into what the when on the things that are in the cups whenever they're walking out? Have we examined really? They say it's a pre-workout, but I don't know, man.
all right, slow
I don't
down
know,
here. This is all
man.
legit stuff.
I
Okay,
don't know,
there's
man.
no, there's nothing illegal. There's nothing against regulations.
I
There's
need proof. I
there
need
is
proof. I need to make sure that I can tell my kids that don't exist yet that this is real, that this is legal.
there are
I
no
need proof.
performance enhancements in those cups. Maybe some caffeine. Not
I
sure,
need
but
proof. And I
well,
need some of that because that might help me out myself.
go
Because
get your
they
proof. That's not my problem, man.
I'll talk to the federal director of sports and entertainment in the Southwest region and all the other regions. I will speak to him. He has federal, he has federal authority. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
I know a guy. I know a guy. But yeah, Turbo Tommy's 2 scoops tests against Devin, Reno, and Class. The 4 of them will know how to work well. But I pity the fool that misses out on this match. This is going to be an insane work because they don't like each other.
No, they don't.
They don't. It's
Long-standing rivalry, not going away anytime soon. Promise you.
but that's gonna be a great tag team match. And then moving on, you're gonna
Oh,
witness the rise, baby.
I'm ready for this one,
You're
actually.
gonna witness the rise. Ronan has been working hard, and I approve all the things he's been doing. You have Ronan going against that clown, Mr. Happy. This match is a grudge match on my behalf because Ronan has his homework, he has his assignment, and he's going to follow through on teaching this clown a lesson. Mr. Happy won't know what's hitting him. You're going to witness the rise of Ronan. Kevin, what you think? And tell me why you're
Ronan,
wrong.
you don't know what I'm going to say. Actually,
Go on.
Ronan has been with us before. He has been in attack. He's been in tag matches with you, of course. But this is definitely noteworthy to be his first singles match. Very important in this aspect. I don't care what you think of anybody and their personality. This man is I don't want to say monster. I want to say this man is a specimen. This man is wrathful. I can see it in his face.
Yes.
I can feel it in his presence. He has something to prove. Maybe it's for himself, maybe it's for others, Maybe it's just because he can, but he's ready for he's starving to make sure that he makes his mark, and he's going to do it in a devastating way. Unfortunately, he has chosen where that anger is, where all that wrath is going to be pointed. Is going to be in the recently, uh, in the unfortunately former Route 66 champion in Mr. Happy, who is just coming off of a harsh title loss. So the question of what is going to drive Happy, that I cannot answer. It's I'm a little afraid. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little afraid of what's going to happen with these two individuals.
This is going to be something. Ronan's representing For Sale, MK Army. Roman's carrying the weight of our world on his shoulders, and he can do it. I believe in Ronan. I cannot say this enough. You're going to witness the rise of Ronan. His first assignment is pain towards Mr. Happy. Mr. Happy going to walk out. I'm sorry, going to be carried out. Mr. Sad. It's going to be a beautiful thing. He's going to teach him the meaning of pain. That's Ronan's assignment. Ronan knows what to do. Ronan's going to do the thing. Mr. Happy, all he can do is just take it because he cannot stand in the way when Ronan gets going. I'm excited to see this. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna watch this. If I want to watch this in 3D or not, I don't know. All I know is that Ronan, you will all notice and you will all take it in when you see the rise of Ronan. This is going to be a great match because Ronan knows what to do and he's going to do what he knows, and that's going to show some pain. Ronan versus Mr. Happy. That's going to be a great match. And we're not even done with the card yet. I think we have two more, but one more has been announced. And this one, our very first intergender tag team matchup. Oh my gosh. Your boy needs some water. So you got Jaden Money Monroe and Zamaya versus, once again, coming in from the NWA, Natalia Markova and Hobo Hank. Hobiferous Hankamas. This is going to be an insane match. The first time we're having an intergender match. This is going to be a great, beautiful thing. It's going to be great. It's going to be good. Jaden Money Monroe, who had his title shot again, once again, from our January show, the personal issue, and he's holding on to this personal issue. This is a bit of a grudge match, actually, between Jaden Money Monroe and Hobo Hank and Zamaya, and even more so, actually, a grudge match with Zamaya and Natalia Markova. There is no love lost here, all pain gained. This is going to be an insane thing. I'm excited to see this. Tell me what you think about this, Kevin.
I mark out for Jaden Money Monroe. I have a few reasons why, but mostly it's just his performance, his look, his attitude, his performance. Love him or hate him, I like that kid. I say kid. I'm an old man. What can I say? He is not.
You
And
do look
he has
amazing for
got
72, by the way, man.
No, thank you for calling me only 72. Jaden is a man who has so much going for him in his performance in the ring. And he's got so many years in his life that he can keep doing that. I I very much want to see what happens throughout the rest of his career. Zamaya, always with him. I think that's amazing. She is definitely she's vicious. I'm gonna give you that. She's vicious.
Agreed.
She scares people.
Agreed.
And you know what? Earned her place in she has earned her place as a winner in most minds because she can challenge with the best of them. She's already gone against Natalia Markova before, and she's ready for a fight. It's a grudge match. It's a grudge match and a grudge match, combining two grudge matches because Jaden has been ducked, you might say, by Hobo Hank for a championship match before, and then got his challenge later. Unfortunately, didn't come out on top. So there's a lot of grudges here. and they're going to settle it all in the same ring. I'm very curious to see how this works out.
You got Zamaya, who even myself, I always think twice of like when it's on the show and I know that Zamaya's on the card, I just make sure that I like look around. She's kind of like becoming a bit of a boogie person to me. Can't say boogeyman, but a boogie person. Someone that I want to make sure I do right by. There's only love and respect there. And then JD Money Monroe, you said it well. The Jaden is good, so good,
You see a
just
I want to
so
add
good.
this right quick. You see a lot of, young people in age, young people
Yeah,
come into a wrestling ring. They don't always put out a performance that is worthwhile. Jaden does. Every day he gets in the ring, with as young as he is so good. That's why he's here. That's why he does what he does. That's why I say just wait until he gets a little more age in him. He's not going to slow down. He's not.
it's a really really great thing. I honestly, Jaden is actually a personal favorite of mine as well. I he's good. And then Jaden Money Monroe walking out with Zamaya. It's going to be a great thing because they work well together. But then you got Hobiferous Hankamus, who is just it's crazy. You see him, but then when he goes in when he crosses the stage, I got to experience this myself. He just hurts people a little bit more. It's kind of crazy, and ever since he's been holding on to this title, he's earned, and he's been working hard at it. But then right next to him, holding his arm, everyone's crush, Natalia Markova, and don't let the looks fool you. Natalia hurts. You know it.
That's the theme of the show, right?
Yeah, this is the theme. How hurts will love hurts hurts. And Natalia Makova will remind you how much hurts will hurt. This match is going to be great. I believe there's another match waiting to be announced. You got to come out. You got to come to the show. You got to come live. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Going to be great. We cannot say that enough. Um, DCCW Love Hurts in the beautiful historic El Rey Theater on the 22nd of February, the year of our lady, 2025. You know, it's we're looking to share some pain with you, for lack of a better way of putting it, man. What do you
You
think?
had to make it personal, didn't you? Like I'm not going
Yes,
through enough right now.
it feels right. It just feels right, my friend. So let's talk about this a little bit. We have our February show. We have also a really really big announcement that if you're not there live, we don't want you to miss out on this moment because this is a beautiful moment that we can't wait to share with everyone, and we're so excited to talk about whatever it is we're going to talk about. What is it? I don't know. It's a surprise, but I just know that it's a big deal.
I
But
know that if somebody isn't there, they may miss out.
yes,
That's not a joke. If you're not at the show, there's always that big chance you're going to miss something.
it's something worth coming out. Like, we want to make sure that we're giving everyone as good a value of their time because they're putting in their hard-earned money. They're putting in their time that they cannot get back. We know that the commodity of time is something that is priceless because time is the only thing that cannot be taken back, given back. So we're adding value to that. We keep in mind every single one of you that comes out to our shows. We keep in mind every single one of your kids that come out to our shows. We keep in mind especially all the women that come to our shows. But and the guys too, whatever. But we
Okay.
love hurts,
All
baby.
right. Men need
But
love too.
men, sure, yeah, whatever. But ladies, hey,
I
the
need love.
beautiful, the beautiful historic El Rey Theater. Love hurts.
Very beautiful, very historic. Trust me. I love that venue. very
It's
much.
it's so nice, man. There's a few of us that helps. Honestly, I'll just break it down as much as I can. I love taking part on setting that ring up because I don't trust anyone else setting that ring up. Uh, and you get I've grown a bit attached to the ring and especially the ropes. I'm grateful to the people who have helped solidify some knowledge in me on this, but like there's something special about that ring to me. So I'm grateful for this. But as we're rounding up the time right now for us, Kevin, any last words from you, my friend?
Got the show ready to roll, and I'm excited. Anybody who wants to show up, I very, very much say you should. I'm not encouraging you. I'm saying you should because it's going to be a banger of a show.
I agree. This is going to be a really great show. The card itself is just an insane card because there's a lot stacked up on this. There's a lot on the line, and there's something for everyone in this show. Uh, the beautiful historic El Rey Theater. There's just something divine about that place. No matter what what state it's in, it's something I walk into that place with reverence every time, and I'm grateful for it. But all the people that's been supporting us, all the people that continue to support us, more important, all the people that's keeping us accountable. We thank you. We see you. We appreciate you. Um, and I'm grateful. Once again, Fred Slow couldn't make it tonight. He is out being a man of the people, being charitable, sharing his time for a good cause at a gala he's hosting. But Fred, I thank you for what you're doing for the community and for the people. Kevin, I thank you for filling in and just hanging out with me. This would have been awkward if it was just me. I would have done it, but it would have been really awkward and weird.
Well, I know that talking to yourself can be fun. Trust me, I do it. But I'm very I'm very thankful that I was invited to be a part of this. This was fun.
Kevin Hoover, ladies and gentlemen, answering the call and just sitting back talking wrestling. This has been Going Over, episode 64. We're grateful for you. I thank you for you and every single one of you. Once again, I am Saleh Taylor and my good friend Kevin Hoover filling in for Fred Slow. You're listening to us Going Over 95.9 FM, 610 a.m. The